All right, guys, let's talk Seattle Seahawks here for a little bit. Of course, the draft has wrapped up. We can now take a step back and look how the Seahawks and frankly every team in the NFL drafted. Look, the Seahawks got a lot better. They had a great draft, but there's one move in particular, one draft pick that we think is a master stroke, a big time addition, a potential steal for Seattle that'll be huge for them come regular season time.
Yeah, Nick, you put it into words perfectly here. This guy seems to be like a major steal for the Seattle Seahawks. I can't believe that people didn't pick up a player of his caliber this early on. But nonetheless, Seahawks fans, you made a lot of great picks in this draft. But I want to know in the comments below, who is your favorite pick from this past draft? Let us know in the comments below. And make sure to stay tuned to the end of today's video to listen to a word from the sponsor of today's video, Neuro. But nonetheless, Nick, who is this steal of a deal that the Seahawks have gotten in the draft?
Yeah, we talked about it during the first round. The Seahawks had a great first round, nailed it out of the park with their 2 picks. But I think what they did on day 3 really solidified this draft. And one pick in particular, Mize, if you want to go ahead and throw up the report from Seahawks.com, I'll read with it. With their second of 2 fifth-round picks, number 154 overall, the Seahawks continued a day 3 trend of adding talent to line of scrimmage, selecting Michigan center Oluwatimi. Oluwatimi transferred to Michigan after 3 seasons at Virginia and finished his college career by winning the Remington Trophy as the nation's top center and the Outland Trophy as the nation's top offensive or defensive lineman. He was also part of the Michigan line that won the Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line in college football. At Virginia, Oluwatimi was a finalist for the Remington Trophy in 2021 when he was a 12-game starter and a second-team All-ACC selection. All right, Mike. So basically, if you look at all that, this guy's just a really good football player and a really good center, right? He won the Remington Award winner, top center in college football, won the Outland Award winner, top offensive or defensive lineman in all of college football, was a finalist in 2021 when he was playing at Virginia. The fact that this guy was still available to 5th round, again, is the flaw in scouting we see, because people looked at film, all these scouts, all these draft analysts, and say, well, he didn't blow it away at the combine. He was okay, but he didn't have a great bench press, didn't have a great 40, didn't have a great shuttle, doesn't have great high weight, doesn't have the ideal center's body in terms of proportions. And, his scheme wasn't ideal. He didn't run a true pro style scheme. He did a lot of double team blocks and a lot of play action. And maybe that won't translate as well to the NFL and things like this and yada, yada, yada. It's all garbage because this guy's just a really darn good football player. And he proved it at Virginia in one offense, goes to Michigan, completely different offense, and proves it there again. And all he does is win. Everywhere he goes, he's made his offensive lines better. He's progressed in his career. He goes to Michigan. They take the next step. Everything he did in his college career was absolutely spectacular. The fact that he fell in the 5th round, I think, is an absolute travesty of the scouting process. I love watching this guy play football at the college level. I think he's going to be a beast at the NFL. I think this is a great move and a great pickup by Seattle, who frankly I think needs some help at center. I don't know if Joey Hunt's a long-term answer. What are your thoughts on this pick, Miles, for the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, Nick. No, I agree with you there, and I think the point you bring up about Seattle needing center. I think last year this year they potentially have a guard that transferred over to center penciled in there. But I think they need a true center, and this guy has it. He has all of the awards, and then he comes over to Michigan last year, and I believe the entire offensive line won the Joe Moore Award.
Right.
So the line as a whole got better when he was there as well. This guy is just an absolute beast. He's a people mover in the middle of the field. He got an 83.0 run blocking grade last year for a Seattle team who ran the ball really well last year. Kenneth Walker, and now the addition of another running back through the draft, and Zach Charbonnet, who's a really great runner of football. So a guy like Oluwatimi is very, very good. I think he's going to be a really great role player, a really great fit for this team. But nonetheless, I just don't understand why I think the really good teams don't put too much draft stock into combine or underperforming here, underperforming there. They got to look at the tape, because this guy, as you said, really good football player. He's put up great numbers all throughout his career. He's gotten better. I think in 2020 he graded like a 71, 2021 he graded an 80, and then 2022 80.4. So he's gone up every single year and been a very consistent player all throughout his career. When I look at his grades by game, every single game is like almost 70 plus, Nick. So he played very, very consistently all across the board. There wasn't any ups or downs. There wasn't like a 50 here and like a 93 here against a really bad team. He played good against all of the top competition in the Big Ten. So that is why I like this guy. I think he's going to be very, very good for Seattle.
And one thing to remember, a lot of the criticisms with Oluwatimi is that, look, he played in that very run-heavy offense at Michigan. How will he translate to more of a balanced approach in the NFL? It's sort of the inverse of, remember, Abraham Lucas, the tackle who played at an air raid in Washington State, gets drafted by Seattle last year, went on to have a spectacular rookie season. A lot of the criticism of Lucas was like, well, he didn't do a lot of run blocking at Washington State. How is he going to adjust to the NFL? The Seahawks figured it out. Credit to their coaching staff. They got it done, and Lucas did a great job. I think we're going to see a similar dynamic with Oluwatimi. Obviously, it's going to be the inverse as Oluwatimi transfers from a more run-oriented scheme in college to a more balanced scheme in the NFL. I think he'll be able to do it. The Seahawks have the quality coaches in place to get that done. And again, Miles, this guy's just good at football. He's a good leader. And one other point I want to make, because I love talking about transfers, transfer guys are always likely to be day one contributors at the NFL because we know they're mature. It's always hard to uproot your entire life at any point, especially in college. He was at Virginia, picked everything up, went to Michigan only to win games, by the way. So you know this guy's a competitor. He wants to win. He wants to compete at the highest level. He goes to Michigan, uproots his entire life, and then dominates day one, becomes team captain. That's the kind of guy that, you know, could contribute right away in an NFL situation. And I really love this pick from the Seattle Seahawks perspective. I think it's another potential late round steal for him. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner in today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.